Welcome to Donna's Happy Hour. I want to thank you for joining me. Today I have Rob Benson, who will be performing his original songs. He has been writing for over 35 years and has well over 500 songs that he has written. He also plays with the Whiskey Crossing Band, which has been on the show before. So, grab your drinks, whatever they may be, because I'm hoping you'll spend the next hour with me.
All right, everybody. Well, my name is Rob Benson. It's great to be here today. I'm going to sing a couple songs off of my new CD, which is coming out next year. So this first one here is one I wrote not too long ago. I wrote it about the two people that I am singing with in the band, Whiskey Crossing, for Tina Marie and Andrew. A little love story about their life together. So it's called I'll Take Care of You. It goes like this. Well, she's a southern girl, born in Carolina, with a heart of gold and a real infectious smile. But she's not really smiling much today. She thinks of all the crazy things that came her way. And he's just a kind and gentle soul from Jersey, waited for this girl to come along. And he knows forever he will hold her hand, 'cause he's the only one who really understands. He says, I got you, and I'll take care of you. No matter if the skies are gray or blue, and we'll go dancing through the misty morning dew. Girl, I got you, and I'll take care of you. Well, they made a life of music and their horses, and he helps her forget her yesterdays. And it's as if this was always meant to be. He says from now on it's always you and me. He says, I got you, I'll take care of you, 'cause I know all the things that you've been through, and we'll go flying across the sky upon the moon. I'll be your lover, I'll be your best friend too. Well, she's a southern girl, born in Carolina, and he looks at her and says, babe, you're a survivor, and I got you, and I'll take care of you. I'll even help you sing a song or two. There ain't nothing else that I would rather do. You know I smile every time I look at you, and I'll be your angel, and I'll help you get through. girl, I love you, and I'll take care of you. Yes, thank you. That was I'll Take Care of You for Miss Tina Marie and Andrew. So I'll be recording that one on my next album coming out. I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm doing some big work with a guy pretty big in the industry. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
So I would like to again introduce the amazing Rob Benson. That's a private little joke. Thank you. I have to tell you, this is very cute. Earlier when I was doing my intro, I don't have a teleprompter, so really, it's basically what I think of to say at the time. And I must have said the amazing Rob Benson. Well, we had to redo the intro, and the second time around, after I got done, he said, "You forgot one thing." I said, "What was that?" He goes, "You forgot to say amazing."
You did.
And honestly, you are amazing. So I can say that honestly.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely.
And
Rob, to be here.
Oh my gosh, I got to tell you, I was trying to think back when I first saw you sing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure where it was. Do you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, locally, I have performed in Ellenville, Pine Bush, and then I started performing down in Jersey. So you probably saw me down there.
I probably would, or maybe with Tina.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't sing much with them.
Oh,
I
okay.
just sing
So then it wasn't.
occasionally, but I mean, I've done solo. I was at the Crossfire Lounge at Stanhope.
Okay. Did you do the Way Way Yonder?
I was not. I was not involved with them yet at the time. No.
I can't remember it. I was trying to rack my brain, but
you may have seen it online, possibly Facebook or something.
No,
I've posted stuff.
No, I know it was live.
Oh, okay.
I know it. Wherever you were, I wound up being there. And,
okay.
And that's one of the things. That's why you see me out a lot.
Yes.
He and his girlfriend were saying we see her all over the place.
We do.
And part of that is because. I mean, I do a show, and I'm always looking for good entertainment, good, singers and songwriters, and so when I heard you, I was like, I have to get him on my show.
Well, that's awesome. I appreciate it.
Oh, no. You really are an amazing songwriter, which,
Thank you.
They're obviously going to see and find out about. But I do want to kind of go back on your history. So when was the first time you started playing guitar or which did you do first?
My father had me out performing when I was young, 5, 6 years old, singing.
Okay.
He would enter me in local talent shows at fairs.
Oh, really?
He was a member of the Grange. Remember the Grange? It was like a farming.
Yes.
And they had talent shows
too. Yes,
they
did, right.
And he would enter me in those contests and everything. So I'd go out there and do my Sesame Street songs and whatever.
Right.
So, when I was 12, I decided I wanted to play guitar.
Okay.
Basically just taught myself. And I performed. I got to the point where I could perform out with my guitar.
Okay.
Which I did on Mother's Day when I was 12. My stepfather had a country band, and on Mother's Day, they would allow the kids to come up and sing. So this particular Mother's Day, I went up and sang with my guitar. I sang Mr. Bojangles.
Oh, wow.
And I remember when I got done hearing everybody clapping and going, woo.
Right.
And I said, boy, I think I want to do this.
You were hooked.
I like that.
Wow.
So it just went from there. And then I started writing probably in my early 20s or around 20 maybe.
Okay.
Began writing and got into that, and then had my bands along the way and everything.
So now your father... he played what instrument? He played guitar?
He played guitar.
Okay.
He never really himself performed out. He just did.
Okay.
He played at home. But
Okay.
He had his guitar. He was in the country music,
Okay.
So he would play back then.
And how did he learn?
I think he just taught himself really
Okay.
when he was younger as well. I think he taught himself when he was in the Navy.
Okay.
Back in the 50s.
And you also have brothers. Right.
2 brothers and a sister, and all of them played.
Oh,
All of
okay.
them played guitar. All of them sang.
And did he teach them, or they again self-taught?
I think a combination probably of
Combination,
both.
okay.
Yeah. But they were. My mother had the 3 kids in 4 years, and then she had me 8 years later. So there was a big gap between me and them.
Yeah.
So I just would sit as a little kid, would watch my siblings and be like, "Wow, they're so cool! They sing and they play guitar." And I was like, "I want to do that too."
Right.
So it was definitely the inspiration for me.
Now, did they sing together as a group?
They actually did.
Okay,
They did. Yes. I know that they did the local shows too, like the fairs and everything, as a family.
Right. Okay.
But I was too little to join at the time.
Right, to join, yeah.
I wasn't like Michael Jackson, I wasn't like the little kid leading the band.
Well, I don't think there was that big of a gap. Although maybe there was.
No, maybe not.
Yeah, there was.
With him, probably not. Yeah.
Right.
But there was with me.
Yeah, that's a big 8 years is quite a big gap.
It is.
But you know what? Actually, that might have been the better thing. It's hard to say because obviously, you did it because you loved it, and then you started writing. And your writing, I have to tell you, your writing is so beautiful.
Thank you.
And it was funny because he mentioned that he is prone to writing love songs.
I am.
And they're beautiful songs. So,
I'm just full of love.
You're full of love, yes. Well, obviously it's something that's inspired. You've got a very gentle kind of way about you, which kind of tells you that you're a big softie. Am I right? Am I? There's no coming across as a tough guy for you.
No. Clint Eastwood, I am not.
No. But your songs are beautiful, and
thank you.
as I said, from the first time I heard you, I was like, oh yeah, he's getting a card.
No, I really am. I'm glad you asked me because I have heard of your show, and I've seen I've seen clips of your other shows and everything.
Sure.
And I know Tina and Andrew are on as well. So.
Yes.
And then you approached me, and I said, "Yeah, I'd love to do that."
Yeah. So. Oh, I'm so glad you did.
Yeah. Also on that album coming out was another song that I wrote about Tina Marie's horses. She has a couple horses called Gloria and Levi, and I was kind of inspired to write about them, even though I haven't really spent much time with them, but. It goes like this. It's called Gloria and Levi. You wake me up before the sun. When I try to walk, you have to run. I love old Glory and Levi on the farm. You make me smile. You bring me love. You give me that look, and I know what you want. I love old Glory and Levi on the farm. Your pretty eyes under the stars take me away so very far. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have you. I guess I'd be so sad and lonely too. You make me cry those happy tears, and I'm gonna love you for so many more years. I love old Glory Yes, thank you. That was another one off my new album coming out. I do have two solo albums out already. I spent many years ago in a band that I had put together. We toured New York City, Long Island, played all the big clubs, CBGBs, you name it, Lion's Den, Bitter End. But it's been a solo career since for me up until I did join Whiskey Crossing as their bass player. And I'm also writing songs for that band as well, so keep an ear out for some of that. But this is one off of one of my solo albums that I did a couple years ago. This one's called Amen. And this is for everybody who wants to sing a nice song for their girl. It goes like this. After I tune my guitar. I open my eyes in the morning. There's nothing else better than this. I look at her eyes and I smile. I look to the sky and say this. I say amen. Amen. With eyes like a field of new flowers, loving that soft, gentle touch. Well, I could just hold her for hours. I just can't get enough. I say amen. Amen. Well, this kind of thing just don't happen to a regular guy like me. Now it's all about the fun and the laughter. This is the best life can be. Well, holding her heart forever, spending the rest of my life, giving love and attention to this angel I call my wife. I say amen. Amen. I say amen. Amen. Yes, that's. I usually, when I perform that out, I usually see the tears, you know. So I have. We spent some time a week down in Nashville last year. It was my first time down there, and I was very inspired by all of the wonderful live music down there. I was inspired by just the whole feel of Nashville because I've been doing music forever. I grew up on old country, so it was kind of neat to be down in that area to sort of feel what I have been living my whole life. So when we got back from down there, I decided to write a song about our experience down there, and I called it Lost in Nashville because my girl had a dream one night, and she woke up and she said, I had this dream. And I said, what did you dream about? And she said, I dreamt I was lost in Nashville. And she proceeded to tell me about the dream, and I said, wait, yeah, but what did you say about, what was that title again that you just gave me? So she said, Lost in Nashville. I said, that's it. Sounds like a song title. So I decided to write about our experiences down there with that title. So, and I named my album Lost in Nashville as well. So it goes like this. I'm sitting here on Bourbon Street in Nashville, and I'm singing karaoke at the bars. In the morning I'll be playing at the Ryman, a few new songs, just me and my guitar. Outside of town there's music at the corner. They're lining up 4 singers at a time, and I'm watching all the people from the rooftop, feeling like this whole town is mine. And I'm lost in Nashville, can't you see? And I don't know which way to turn, or if anybody here is seeing me. But there's some drinking going on every street. There's a song in harmony, and I'm lost in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, I'm hoping for a spot down at the Bluebird. Maybe there they'll let me sing a song or two. Watching all the singing and the dancing down at the Wild Horse Saloon. I see the bridal party down at Margaritaville, yelling out the song they want the band to play. Some country western music down at Lonnie's. Well, there just ain't enough hours in the day, 'cause I'm lost in Nashville, can't you see? And I don't know which way to turn, or if anybody here is seeing me. But there's some drinking going on every street. There's a song in harmony, and I'm lost in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm lost in Nashville, Tennessee. So that was it. Lost in Nashville. Man, there's a lot of talent down there, I'll tell you. Everywhere we went, live music, and everybody was phenomenal. So it's a little intimidating for that reason, but I felt like I fit right in.
Let me ask you about this. So now you, when you were growing up, like in high school, did you have a band? Did you do that?
I did not have a band in high. I had my first band probably in my early 20s.
Okay.
I just did my solo thing, but in my early 20s, I got together with a guy I went to high school with.
Okay.
And we started doing a band thing together.
And now, were you doing a lot of the clubs, were you hitting a lot of the little clubs and doing your solo?
We played clubs. We played fairs too.
Okay.
This is all up in upstate New York.
Right. What's interesting is that I never realized like how so many people coming up through the ranks of being in music played the state fairs and
They do.
played the fairs in general.
Yes.
I had no clue how important that was in
Yeah. There's always every fair has a talent tent or a talent stage or whatever.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
And you usually sign up to play whatever.
Right. I did not, and it wasn't until a couple of years ago. Do you know Ethel?
Yes.
And Ethel handles all the New Jersey State Fair.
Oh, okay.
All the talent for that.
Yep.
Maybe I should get you in touch with her.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
She actually is the one that I kind of showed me how much talent is out there.
Mm-hmm.
And actually Clay and I are probably going to be filming that.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if I told him about it, but but we are going to do it.
He knows now.
Yeah, Andre, that's you too. So, but we always it really was a great. I went and spent actually the day with her, or a day or two with her,
Mm-hmm.
and it was an amazing eye opener for me as to how much talent is out there.
Yeah.
And this is, it's kind of like when I was growing up, I was a dancer.
Oh, were you really? Oh, nice.
I was a dancer.
Yeah.
So, my brother sang, I told you that.
Yes.
My brother, he's got just a beautiful voice.
Wow.
And so after hearing him sing, I was intimidated to open my mouth, to be honest with you.
Do you sing it all yourself?
I do. I do.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's, some people it comes so easily to. My brother had perfect pitch, perfect, he could have been an opera singer if he wanted to.
Wow.
And trust me, I'm nowhere near that. But I do like to sing, and I can sing, but dancing was my thing.
Yeah.
And so I did a lot of musicals, and of course I had to sing because I was in a musical.
Yes.
And it's, I felt much more comfortable being in the chorus, not being a solo.
With other people around you.
Yeah, not being a solo.
Yeah.
Although in several of the shows I did, I had to do solos.
Yeah.
It was part of the thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's so interesting, and I also find it so interesting when I talk to artists. Did they have lessons? Were they brought up in a musical family, or was it all self-taught? And I'm always so amazed as to the answers that I get from the people. But I do want to find out a little bit more, because you obviously have several albums that have been out.
Yes.
So what were the names of those? Tell me.
Well, my first solo album was called What a Way to Live.
Oh.
And my second one was called Lost in Nashville.
Okay.
The next one coming out was called Under the Whispering Tree. I also had an album put out with a band many years before that, which was a rock band.
Okay.
I'm just sent away to have that released also, because we never released our music.
Oh, okay.
On an album, whatever.
All right.
So, really, that's all I have at this point.
Okay. That's all I have. Is it only?
But I mean,
only 500 songs.
No, yeah,
4 albums.
I have written a lot. I have over 500 originals, but
that's amazing.
But my music, I mean, I go way back. I had that first band, like I just told you, in the '80s. My older brother, Bill, and I, we performed all over Connecticut back in the '80s.
Really?
Everywhere.
Wow.
We did bars and clubs and nursing homes and fairs.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, is that where you grew up in Connecticut, or?
Well, no, I'm originally from Red Hook, which up in Dutchess County.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Okay.
But I did live in Connecticut for quite a while.
Okay, so that's why you were out there
Yeah,
doing
because he lives out in Connecticut. So,
Okay.
And he's still doing music himself.
Is he
So,
really?
Yeah, he does.
So have you ever collaborated on albums with him?
We never
or?
did an album together, but we
okay.
just would perform out and do lots of covers.
Right. Right.
So, but he's doing his own thing and he loves it, and I'm proud of him for doing it, and I'm doing my own thing. I just love it. I've been doing it forever. I always wanted to be that rock star when I was young. Never happened, but I'm still plugging away, just trying to get my music out there for everybody to hear. And
Right. Well, it's one of those things, and I have to ask. So you haven't like toured state to state? Have you done that sort of thing?
I haven't done that.
Okay.
The band I had, the last band I had, we did a tour, but it was a local tour.
Okay.
We did New York City, Long Island. We did like all the big clubs that half of them aren't even there anymore.
Right.
CBGB's, the Lion's Den. We did the Bitter End.
Right.
We did the Continental Club. All these other clubs that were big back then.
Right.
We did a big show out in the Hamptons on the beach, and that was fun. So that's kind of where we were centered.
Okay.
And we did that for about 5 years.
Wow.
We started getting a pretty good following, and then the band broke up.
Right.
And,
right.
As happens a lot.
As happens a lot.
Here's an old song I wrote many years ago that I included on my Lost in Nashville album. I was talking about the band I was in. The other singer of the band was a big Kiss fan, and I was a big Beatles fan growing up. So I decided to do a song that kind of combined those two. So I took the Beatles Yesterday, and I took Kiss's Beth, and I wrote a song called Yesterday Beth. And it's about the two influences, and it goes like this. Yesterday, Beth, I could hear what you were thinking inside. Your time in the spotlight is a time I'll remember all my life. It doesn't matter where you are, because your song remains with me. Yesterday when such a perfect sound to the ears of a child, like the people before me. I could listen to you over and over again. It doesn't matter where you've gone, because your song remains with me. Beth, yesterday, yesterday, Beth. And people can be so cold, it's always been told. But what a sound to be heard all over the world. What else can I say? Beth, yesterday, you were different, but some old people seem to like. You had your time in the limelight. I can't take that away from you, and it doesn't matter who you were, because people liked you just the same. Beth, yesterday, and it doesn't matter who you were, because people liked you just the same. Beth, yesterday, yesterday, Beth. And people can be so cold, it's always been told. But what a sound to be heard all over the world. What else can I say? Beth, yesterday, yesterday, Beth. Yesterday, yesterday, Beth. I've always enjoyed being in bands, but I'm kind of digging the solo thing because it gives me a little bit more, I can write songs that are a little bit more me. Like I'm writing songs for Whiskey Crossing now, but I'm writing them a little more country because they are a country band. When I was in the band, I was a rock band, so I wrote songs that were rock music. So writing songs solo kind of is a little bit more me. So here's another song I wrote also off of Lost in Nashville, and this one is also an old one I actually wrote many years ago, probably 30 years ago. This is called "Don't Leave Me." Come to the sea and find a wave that fits you well, giving all that you want to give, and we will know every time and everywhere. Take away another minute or two. Oh, I want to be, but I can really see that the temperature is dropping and you're turning so cold. Are you bored with life or just my attitude toward being home all alone? Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me all alone, all alone. Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me all alone, all alone. Play the blast beat game and sit and wait my turn. The seasons keep on changing, so much more to learn. So are you bored with life or just my attitude toward being home all alone? Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me all alone, all alone. Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me all alone, all Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me all alone, all alone. So that was "Don't Leave Me." I wrote that many years ago. I seem to have a niche for love songs. Don't know why. I guess it's just easy for me to write. But I wrote this one here. It was a while back I wrote this one, but I've never released it until this upcoming album. So this is called "My Angel Lady." My lovely baby, your love surrounds me. You're everything I could need. My lovely baby, and my angel lady. must have sent you to me, and he sent you with beauty, my angel lady. And holding your hand brings me to the ground and on my knees. Eyes like the flowers in spring, and a smile that means everything. My lovely baby, your love surrounds me. You're everything I could need. My lovely baby. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, I'm going to do one more for you here. This is the title track off of my new album coming out called Under the Whispering Tree. Well, I've seen a lot of things in my life, crossed the bridge from then until now. Nothing compares to what lies ahead. I knew I'd get there somehow. And all the memories I made will never be lost as I start moving on far from fear. 'Cause all of those things that happened before are the reason why I landed here. So follow me, it's not real far, and find out all about me, and discover all the wonderful things under the whispering tree. Well, I've never been one to hide from it all, or to act like there's no yesterday. One thing I know is the world sure can change, despite being set in my ways. But I know nothing compares to where I am now, even though I've smiled before. 'Cause all those things that happened before, they're the reason why I landed here. So follow me, it's not real far, and find out all about me, and discover all the wonderful things under the whispering tree. Under the whispering tree, oh, under the whispering tree, oh, under the whispering tree. Under the whispering tree, oh.
It's interesting to me because I love watching documentaries.
Yep.
And recently I was watching one, and they were talking about touring, and how little time they get to spend at home.
Yes.
And I'm like, I can't even imagine that, like they were saying something like, oh God, I want to say out of 300 and, they were on the road for at least 300 days. So they got to spend, like,
Yeah.
What?
That's got to be tough.
That's got to be tough,
Yeah.
Now, do you plan on ever doing that kind of thing? Is that where life might take you with this? Or
I mean, if I can make a living off of music, I'd love to do that.
right?
Because I feel like that's what I was born to do, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing it forever.
Right.
I've just never gotten the break that
right.
I haven't met the right people or whatever. But I would love to do something like that,
Right. That is, and so I guess too, when you think about, okay, so like with my brother, my brother never wound up. My brother had a lot of opportunities to, as I told you, to sing.
Yes.
But he chose not to. He was afraid of the fame. Obviously, you're not. You're embracing it and looking.
I'm waiting for it to come.
Right.
Fame, where are you?
Well, I find that things obviously sometimes happen for a reason. And maybe that's why your rock and roll band, because really what you're doing now is so beautiful.
Thanks,
and I can't imagine, that somewhere along the line you're not going to, you'll be doing this,
I certainly hope so.
So what do you do when you're not singing? What do you have a full-time job? Working. Which,
boring.
yes.
You have to do it, but I actually deliver mail for a living.
Really?
I do.
Oh, no
Yes.
kidding.
Yep.
Oh, funny. Oh,
Yep.
my gosh. All right.
So mailman by day and musician by night.
Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you know what? We, and most, as musicians, whether it be musicians, actors, and things like that, have to have a second job
Yes.
to live,
Yes.
And, it's part of, and I'm always amazed as to how people keep the schedule, because what time do you have to get up for your job? Pretty
I'm
early,
usually
right?
up at 6.
Yeah. And so do you play during the week or just weekends?
Mostly on weekends.
Mostly on
weekends. Yeah, mostly on weekends. I do occasionally. Well, I mean, most of the stuff during the week is like open mic stuff.
Okay.
I don't really do the open mics anymore.
Okay.
I haven't for quite a while, really. But most of the stuff's on the weekends.
Right.
And of course, I'm doing my solo thing. I'm also doing the Whiskey Crossing thing.
Right.
So, and Tina Marie keeps me busy.
Keeps you.
With that because they're all over the place too.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm having fun. Then she asked me to do their songwriting as well.
Right.
So I'm really been my brain has been going writing and writing and writing.
Right. Wow.
So I keep pretty busy with that.
Yeah, that's a lot. Because as I said, I can't even imagine. Actually Brian. When I got to chat with Brian a little bit, and I think he's a teacher.
Yes.
And so he's got a crazy schedule, and yet,
Yep.
Here he is. There.
He's also doing his solo stuff too.
Yes,
so
he's doing right.
both
Exactly.
as well.
Yeah. It's crazy, and then he plays with Tina as well.
Yes, he does.
Tina's like getting the. But what I love is that honestly, you guys are so amazing that when you're with Tina, you're so on the money. It just what do I want to say? You compliment one another, know, and that's really all you can ask for.
Yeah, the band thing is going well. There's a lot of talent in that band. I just love it.
Yes, I love the mandolin player. That
Kenny.
Is that his name? Yeah.
Kenny, yeah.
Very, very good.
Yes.
And as a total, it just is going really great.
It is.
But let's go back to, so where, do you have places that you're playing now that people, if they want to come out and see you, what do you have as a schedule?
Well, I have there's a place called Tony and Nick's in Ellenville.
Oh, okay.
It's an Italian restaurant.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
they have a different artist every Friday. the same artist every month, and
Okay.
I'm one of the 4.
Oh, okay.
So I'm there the last Friday of every month.
Okay.
We play 7:30 to 10:30 at
Okay.
night.
All right.
Um, as far as other places go, it's a little bit sporadic right now. Nothing, no consistent schedule.
Right. Right.
It's just wherever I can play.
Right.
I actually had to cancel a lot this winter because I've been sick all the time. It seems for the flu or something.
Yeah. The bug that's going around.
It's been terrible. Bad winter for me.
Yeah.
But I've played in Pine Bush. I play a lot in Jersey.
Okay.
You know, wherever I can get gigs, I'll go.
Right.
You know, but that Tony and Nick's is the only consistent one that I have every
That
month.
you have and I'll have to catch you out there because
Yeah.
we have a friend that lives up in Wolf Lake, so I'm in the area. I'll wait till the weather breaks, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Surprisingly, for me, it's the winter slows me down
Yes.
because I'm not going to go out there when it's, freezing rain or
I know.
all of that. That creates a problem.
Also, well, I play in Connecticut too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a vineyard out there called Miranda Vineyard.
Oh.
And I'll be there in April. I'll be there in March actually with Tina Marie and Andrew.
Oh, neat.
And then in April I'm going back solo there.
Oh, wow.
It's a really great place if anybody's near Connecticut or around Connecticut. Definitely go up there. It's a wonderful place. It really is. Great people.
Where is it near?
It's in Goshen, Connecticut, which is
Connecticut. Okay.
kind of mid-state, really.
Okay.
It's kind of like it's Torrington area. I don't know if you know where Torrington is.
Yeah, no.
Sort of above Danbury.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, getting back to your solo career.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've got you said you're releasing another album, right?
Yeah, I'll be starting recording on March 1st.
Okay. And the songs that you did today on the show, are those from that, or was it a mix from?
Most of them were from that one coming out.
Okay, from that one coming out. Okay.
I did some older ones, but most of them are going to be coming out.
Oh, wow.
And I'm working with, I ended up meeting a guy who was in Carly Simon's band.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to be helping me record the album and produce it and everything.
Wonderful.
So
okay.
it should be a really good production.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Where did you produce your other albums? I mean,
the other ones, I got a connection to a guy who has a studio in Kingston.
Oh, okay.
And so I went there, and he worked on those. It's a smaller studio,
right, right.
But the sound quality was pretty good. I was happy with it, and he's a great guy to work with.
Nice.
So it was really good.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Because the reason that I ask is that we had just met a fellow, and I got to contact him, that owns a recording studio out in Clifton.
Oh, okay.
New Jersey.
Yes.
And actually, we were going to make a trip out there to see his studio, to see maybe possibly even meet some of the talent that comes in to his studio.
Right.
But I didn't know exactly, how that works. Is it because you try to find somebody locally when you're, recording, or
recording studios can be quite costly.
Right.
So it's nice to meet somebody who has a local thing that a local business where it's not a big not a big time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Still uses modern equipment.
Right.
But it just does. It's a little more easier to afford.
To afford. Right. Right.
Because I'm just a mailman.
Right. Well, I'm really, again, I want to thank you so much for joining me.
Oh man, this is awesome. I love it.
And again, great. Tony, and what is it called? Tony and Nick's.
Yes.
And that's in
Ellenville. In Ellenville, New York.
New York, okay. Is that right on 209? Or
it's
is
a little off. It's a little off the,
Okay.
I think it's Canal Street, I think it's called. It's right off the 209.
Sure. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's
it's right across from the Shadowland Theater.
Okay. Oh, sure. Yeah. I know where. Okay.
Yeah.
So this way, if people are coming into the area and they're not that familiar,
yes.
Do you ever play in Pennsylvania?
I do not actually. I have not hooked. I don't. I mean, if you know any places that
I do.
Do you? Okay.
I do, and you would be perfect for that.
Well, see, I'm going to become famous because of you. See?
That's right. Well, I have to tell you, would love to incorporate in my life, if I had the connections, to be like a talent scout. Because
Yeah.
I really do feel like I have a good eye for it. And I enjoy music. I mean, if I was a which I danced for 25 years.
Yeah.
I just, love music. And so, yeah, that would have been
No.
a great career for me.
It would have, I know. No, I know you love music because every time we go somewhere, we're always like,
I'm there dancing.
is that Donna? And then we go someplace else. Donna's here. Is that Donna? Is that Donna again?
And you'll
Does
always
she
see
ever
me out
not
on
go
the
out
dance
and-
floor. I'm
the
always
dance
out
floor,
on the
yeah.
dance floor. Or if I'm not on the dance floor, because my husband's not a dancer.
Oh, he doesn't dance?
Yeah, it's really a shame, But if he's not dancing, then my feet are going. You
Oh,
watch,
yeah.
you will see my feet constantly going, I can't help it.
Well, yeah. Well, it's in your blood. It's in your
It
genes.
is.
or
It
whatever,
really
yeah.
is. My cousin was a ballerina for the Joffrey ballet company.
Oh, wow.
And so yeah, it is in the history. But anyway, I
Interesting,
guess
wow.
we probably have to say goodbye to the audience, right?
Already?
And so anyway, I guess we'll say goodnight and thank you for joining us.
Please come to the sea and find a wave that fits you well, giving all that you want to give. And we will know every time and everywhere. Take away another minute or two. Oh, I want to be, but I can really see that the temperature is dropping and you're turning so cold. Are you bored with life or just my attitude toward being home all alone? He says, I got you and I'll take care of you. No matter if the skies are gray or blue. And we'll go dancing through the misty morning dew. Girl, I got you and I'll take care of you.
It's Donna's happy hour, it's Donna's happy hour, it's Donna's happy hour, it's Donna's happy hour. Come on, get happy now, it's Donna's happy hour. Come on, get happy now, it's Donna's happy hour. Come on, get happy now, it's Donna's happy hour. It's Donna's happy hour, it's Donna's happy hour. It's Donna's happy hour, it's Donna's happy hour.